John 5 verse 19 says, Jesus gave them this answer, I tell you the truth, the Son can do nothing by himself, he can do only what he sees his Father doing, because whatever the Father does, the Son also does. In this verse of the Bible and many other stories in the Bible, we see just how dependent on God Jesus is. We see that he cannot say anything nor do anything unless God tells him to do it, but also in this verse tells us that he couldn't do nor say anything unless God had done it first. And as people who love God, as Christians, we should be striving to be the same, and that comes in aspects of sins, to not lie, steal, murder, to gossip, to break people down, to use foul language. God hasn't and never will do those things, and neither should we. He calls us to love. He calls us to have compassion and mercy for the ones around us. He calls us to build people up. He calls us to make disciples. And if we're not doing that, then we're not doing what God has called us to do. And many times I've seen people justify their sins, saying that it's for a good reason or it's not hurting anyone. But God doesn't justify sins, and he hasn't given us a clause in the Bible that allows us to justify our sins. So if you're finding yourself in a position where you're sinning but justifying your sin, then you need to sort of take a step back and look at yourself and say, what am I doing? Am I doing it for the glory of God? So my prayer for you for this week is that you're just so aware of what you're doing and what you're saying, and if it's glorifying God or if it's breaking people down, and if it's something God has not called you to do, if it's something God would never do, I just pray that you are able to step away from that and go into glorifying God with your actions and your words. So I just pray that you also just have a great week and weekend up ahead, and see you on Friday at Reach, because we're back with that now, so yay!